All right, let's do ThinkCentral Lesson 5-7 for homework. So if Jordan earns $343 a week, how many dimes is that? Well, think about it. A dime is 1/10 of a dollar. So there's going to be 10 dimes in $1. So if we're dividing by 0.1, you're going to have a lot more dimes than you would dollars. What you need to do here is just a decimal shift, so 343.00. Because dimes are 1/10 of a dollar, move that decimal point over one space. You're going to have 3,430 dimes, which is going to be equal to $343. Another way to look at this is if you divide 343 by 10 cents, you're going to create an equivalent problem, you're going to move that over by a factor of 100, and you're going to move that over. So how many times will 10 go into 34,300 dimes? And that's going to be equal to 3 4 3 and 0, and you move that, so 3,430 dimes will be the answer. So I set up the problem here. If we're dividing 243 by 1/10, there's going to be many more parts. So basically how you do it, each digit shifts one place. The digits shift one place to the right for each of these. I'm going to annex 0 here. So because it now represents 10 times as much as it did before. If you were going to divide this out, 1 goes into 2,430 times. So it's one digit shift to the right. Now in this problem we're dividing by 1/100th, so each digit is going to shift to the right 2 times. It's a double shift. You can see here 2 decimal places. So each digit shifts to the right 2 times. It's the same as multiplying by 100, because there is 100 times as many cents in $243 when you divide by 1 cent. In this problem you're dividing by 1/1000th of a cent. So basically if you take this money and you have $243 and you're going to divide it by 1,000th, there's going to be 243 thousandths. So the number becomes 1,000 times greater, 1,000 times as much, because each dollar becomes 1,000 tenths of a cent. Let's unpack this problem. Mr. Moreno has 4 liters of spaghetti sauce, and he'll pour them into 1/10 liter. So what I've done here is I've drawn 10 tenths of will equal 1 liter. So how many tenths are there in one hole? There are 10 tenths. You can see here in the picture there are 10 tenths. So how many tenths will be in 4 holes? There'll be 40 tenths. And so complete the equation. 4 divided by 1/10 will be 40. And this is the same as 4 times 10. And if I want to show you the division here, it would be 40 divided by 1/10. Shift that over one space. Shift that over one space. 1 into 40 is 40 times. So why is 70 divided by 2 the same as 7 divided by 2/10? Well, 70 divided by 2 is 35. And these are both 1/10. This here is 1/10 of each of these numbers here. So if I shift that over times 10 times 10, it's the same as 70 divided by 2 is the same as 7.0 divided by 0.2. It's just making their equivalent fractions. You're basically dividing 70 and 2, you're dividing them both by 1/10. And that will equal 0.7 times over 0.2. So it's equivalent fractions. Alright, so what you do here is you move it over, move it over, move it up. You got Move that over times 10, make that times 10 to get an equivalent problem, and then move it up here. So 5/10, 15 divided by 5/10 is the same as 150 divided by 5. And 5 will go into 15 3 times, and so 30 times. 5 will go into 150 30 times, just as in 5/10 will go into 15 30 times. Same situation here. Let's multiply this by 100, and to create an equivalent problem, let's multiply this by 100. Annexing 2 zeros, let's move that up to the quotient bar, and you have 12 goes into 66 5 times. 6 left over, 12 goes into 65 times, nothing left over, and 12 goes into 0 times, so it's going to be 550. Multiply that by 10 gives you 3. What you do to the divisor, you do to the dividend. Multiply that by 10 gives you 960. 3 will go into 9 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Bring down the 6. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. Bring down the 0. 3 goes into 0 times. You have 320. So 96 divided by 3/10 is 320. Just as in 960 divided by 96 divided by 3/10 is equal to, well, 960 divided by 3 is equal to 320. I've set up the problem here. A dime weighs 5/100ths of an ounce. If Jake has 16 ounces, let's go ahead and put the 0 there, annex a couple, put the decimal point there, annex a couple zeros. Shift that over by 2, double shift that way, put it up. 5 goes into 16 3 times. 1 left over. 5 goes into 10 2 times. Nothing left over. Bring down the 0. So 5/100ths of an ounce divided into 16 ounces is 320, just as is 1,600 divided by 5 is 320. And that's the end of our practice for today. So keep practicing. Ask for any questions if you have them.